Hello, this is a note about ENC file formats, and in particular the upgrade structure, how the charts are upgraded when new additions, not new additions, but new updates come out. There are updates and there are new additions, and I'll show that in a moment. And in particular, we want to look at a truly unique feature of qtVlm that lets us look and see at each update what actually has changed. I don't see that in any other programs that we have, but it's very nice here, and especially because, well, here's what happened. We're going to use our training charts, and the training charts that we captured, maybe, I guess now, it's like 2 years ago, we grabbed this set of ENCs for the Pacific Northwest area here that we're going to lock in time and use those for the course. It turns out we captured a period of time when some interesting changing to aids to navigation took place out here on the corner. This is the northwest tip of the United States. Washington State is here. This is Strait of Juan de Fuca coming in here. This little bit of water here is called Admiralty Inlet, and that's Puget Sound coming down here. That's Cape Alava, the westernmost point of the United States. So we're going to be dealing with up here, and we'll start out by just looking at our training charts. And we're dealing with the ENCs. Now, the actual training charts actually include with them all the RNCs, so we can compare them as we go and so forth. But this is the area we want to look at. And we've got a whole set of charts loaded, but this is, I think, the chart we want to look at. And we can right-click here, go Chart Information, and double-check it. Yeah, US 03. No, that's not quite it. US 3. This is US. That means the American charts. 3 is the scale band. WA means our Washington State, and this is the actual chart number over here. But we want to zoom in a little bit more here and get down to the next level. Let's see what chart we're looking at. And this, there it clicked in. We want to be looking, let's see, Chart Information. I think it's 04. This is WS 436. That's still not it. There's a bunch of charts out here on the edge here. And the way that the qtVlm works is whenever you change the scale, and we've got the scale here, we can move that scale, move chart scale here. See, we're at 1 to 28,000. We're zoomed in pretty close here. And this is the area we want to talk about. And again, let's back up and see where we're looking at. We're looking at the corner of all the shipping from Japan and LA and everywhere else in the world, China, that's coming into Seattle area. It's coming in this channel right here. They're all coming in here. And so there's a couple key aids here. Here's one out here. Here's a buoy, and here's this one, which is very important. Now, the ships are going to be coming in. They should be up here in these traffic lanes and out of there, but this is still a very important buoy. And this is when we're going to look at it and how it changed. So let me zoom. Oh, wait a minute. I want to zoom back in to see. Let's see, what chart am I on now? Chart Information, WA. Yeah, that's the one. 1 to, what's the scale here? 1 to 40,000. It's 1 to 40,000. And this is just a general chart information link here. We go over that elsewhere. So that's a chart we want to look at, and in particular the evolution of this buoy here. Back in the days here when I was sailing around this area often, this was a buoy about here somewhere, and it was called 2D for Dunce and Duncan D. The 2 Ds were the Dunce and Duncan rocks. Now, coincidentally, when we captured these training charts, it looks like we captured the time period when that transitioned to this modern virtual buoy went in there. So now there's no real buoy there. You better have some electronics because there's nothing there to see as you go by. Now, I guess that's progress. So let's start. And okay, so we have to review. I'm going to go back I'm going to look at the chart setup menu. This is the menu where you set up the charts, and here's where you assign the charts. And we're using the training charts. I just want to say here's where we look and see where they are. They're stored in public HTML, ENC, charts, training charts, and so forth. Okay, that's it. That's what we want. But what's going to happen, and then we don't need this anymore. The key point here is when you want to study the history of the charts, we have to look at each chart individually. So let's just look at the structure here. I'm going to go into this Finder. Oh, it's over here. And it was, let's see, I should have some way to set that up, ENC and charts. This is just where I just discovered, and training charts is where they were stored. So these are the training charts that are loaded in our course. And then we want the sample, this is the one, sample training charts. And then we want the ENCs. So here are the ENC charts that are being used in the course. And now let's go down to the one we want, US 5. US 5, let me even click that one open. US 5. And that's a US 5, and this is the catalog. We discuss that in our textbook on electronic charting. Now here is the chart itself. See, this folder includes this as a closed folder. It has a catalog, the README, user agreement. These have no significance to the navigation. And then you open it up, and there's the real chart. So what do you see in, quote, the real chart? Now, what this looks like whenever you open any particular random chart is going to look a little bit different. They're going to always have at least one text file that gives you information about the chart. At least one, and this has a bunch. And then it's going to have at least one of these. This is this .000. That is the base chart. You see, that's over here. Let me get this. Oh, well, you can see it. This one here, that's 1 megabyte. These other things are all small. So that's the initial chart. When they first put out that edition, that's the chart. Then this particular chart has updates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has 5 updates. Now, that doesn't mean it's old. It just means that's because remember these ENC charts are, in principle, they can be updated every week. They can be updated once a week. And so these updates here, these 5 updates could have all happened in 1 year, or they could have happened in 2 years. I think we, in fact, see that in what we're going to do right now. But the main chart is this one. This particular file, now that's something unique. That is actually generated by qtVlm. That means I have looked at that chart in this particular navigation program, and it creates that file with some information that implements or expedites that display. So that's the chart. This is the chart we want, and that's what these different meanings are. And what we're going to do is take a quick look at what these different updates have really done. In other words, what did happen when they went from 0, the first update, the second, third, fourth, so forth. All right, so that's that. Now, the way we do that in the qtVlm, first of all, we're looking at the vector charts. That's looking at all the charts in the area. Like I did before, I zoomed in and out, and I saw all different scales as I zoomed in and out. What we have to do now is look at just this one chart we want to study. And so you could, in principle, as you learn about the program, you know that you can right-click this and say, show only this chart. So here's the extent of that chart, like that. But that method of getting into only one chart, that's not going to do the job for us. We have to get into one chart a different way. We have to use the command. We can go up here. Let's see, charts. Single chart. Open a chart. It's on a Mac. It's Command K, and on a PC it would be Control K. Now we have to get to here. Then you have to navigate to this chart. Now, apparently I just looked at it before I came here. This would not be here normally. That doesn't match what I'm looking. That just happens to be there. You would have to browse, and then you would browse, and you've got to go to the 001. of the area you want, and then you say open that one, and that is error while loading the file. What's that mean? Let's see, Command K, show at normal resolution. Okay. So now, show at normal resolution. So I think I should have the right file in here. So now let me go back and do Command K again. And let's say updates. Now you see, I got the right chart. I'm going to click updates. Okay, and there is a list. These are those 5 files. These are the 5 files that we saw in the main folder here. Oh, it's right here. There's one of these. There's one of these up here for each of these here. One of these like that. And so we can look in each one of these of what happened. There's nothing. That's the original. Number 1, modified. Something got modified, and this buoy got modified. And so that buoy got modified. And so what we could, let's see, do we click that? No, we click this and say load and review this one. Okay. Load and review. Now look at that. Now let's go back one. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the original. Well, that's not even the original buoy. That buoy I think has been moved. But let's go back one. So I got to do again to get back there. Command K, and I go to updates. Now let's go back to the beginning of time here to this guy and say load that chart. Okay, now we've got that guy loaded. And these buoys have what they call a scale minimum. So you have to be zoomed into a certain level just to see them. So here's the buoy back in day 1 or something. Okay, we want to see what that was like. We go to vector chart information, and there's the buoy for this original chart. What's our date here? Where's the chart date? Here's the chart, 1 to 40,000. Okay, we're back in 2016. This is the chart in 2016, and that's everything about it. And that's its position, 48.41. 48. I'm gonna just write that down in case that's what changed. 48.41. Okay, 48.41. All right, so that's the original buoy, and you see there's nothing going on here. That's fine. So then we go back. Command K is how I get back to the updates page, and I'm going to go to this one, modified, and then I can. Well, let me just click this guy. And see, I'm clicking the main file, and then I'm saying load the updates. Okay, now, again, scale minimum is taken over. I don't see the buoy at all because I have to zoom in. And there's the buoy. Now, okay, so now we see our first interesting thing. There's a little orange line with a circle on it. Now, we have, in our book, we list what those symbols mean. Those are changes. Those are indications of chart symbol changes. And we have, I have a mess of them. I'm looking at a second monitor here. It's just chaos. There's 2 ways that we can see this. Let's go in our own book. This is from our book, Introduction to Electronic Chart Navigation. In the back, chapter 4, I think, there's a thing called Mariner's Navigation Symbols. And here you'll see this is a symbol for an object that's been deleted. It's just crossed out. And this is a symbol for when it's updated. Okay? Now, if you take our course, we also load an active set of interactive. All the chart number 1 is actually presented as interactive symbols, and that's in the course itself. So even if you didn't have the book in hand, you could come and look at these symbols and click them and see what they mean. But this one means it's updated. So those are resources that we have. There's really, for this type of work, there's 2 kinds of symbols. It's either updated or it's deleted. This one's updated. So now we can then go in here, right-click it, and then say Vector Chart Element. This is a cursor pick. Oh, okay. So the buoy lateral has been modified. 48.41. Automatic information. I'm in AS. Oh, information. This is what's new. You see what they did. It looks like the first thing they did was they added to that buoy an AIS, a virtual AIS signal. I mean, it's a real buoy plus an AIS signal. So you could either see it by eye or you would see it on your chart as an AIS signal. That apparently took place in the first update. Okay, that's that. That's okay. So now we go back, Command K, updates. Now let's see, number 2, modify. Well, let's say number 2, show it, zoom. Oh, okay. Now this one, I think. Okay. Now that means this type of symbol means these. I think almost certainly this means that this magnetic variation changed. Let me just take a look here. Vector chart elements. What changed? Yeah, magnetic variation changed. So it also was a time period where they updated. Magnetic variation didn't necessarily change. But what happens is the world magnetic model is updated every 5 years. And so every 5 years, they're going to put in updated magnetic variation values. And in some places of the world, it doesn't change much. Other places, it changes a lot. But that's what this means here. Now, as our little buoy goes, let's see what happened to it. Vector chart elements. Buoy lateral. Okay. So the fog signal, something changed on the fog signal. I'm going to let that go for now. I want to get to the main thing I'm after. But anyway, that's what changed there. So let's go back one more step. Updates. I want to get to the point. Let's see, is it 3? I think it's 4 where the real action is. But let's just see, modified. Okay, these are C areas. These are telling us that these are just sort of like details of the chart. There's nothing magnetic variation change, so there's really nothing there significant that changed. Here, let's see, modify, added. Okay, new object. Okay, this is the meat. Let's do this. Yeah, I highlight this and I say show here. Okay, now let's get in here and see. Yeah, okay, this is the meat of the action here. What happens now is you see what they've done, and this is the big step. Let's see when this all happened. New mark, chart vector elements, buoy lateral deleted. Okay, so this is the big step. And when did that happen? October 16, 2018. So at 2018, they removed that buoy. Then the real buoy is gone. Now over here, they added this. Probably added this guy. Okay, vector chart elements. New object added. A virtual object marking the right-hand side of the channel. Okay. So that you see, so that's how it works. And you can do for any chart that you care about and you get it updated, then you can go in with this neat feature and just study what exactly happened in each update. It's really a unique tool. Now, we don't always need it. You just care, I've got the latest chart, good, I'm going to use what's on it. But if it's a chart you really care about and use a lot, and you may want to see what the details are. In some cases, it could be really valuable. And this leads up. The reason I'm getting this background is this program has a brand new feature that gives a semi-automatic way to keep all your charts up to date. And once you're doing that automatically, this then gives you a way to check and see what really changed. So I'm going to stop there. That's the auto updating feature of, this is the way you check to see what's changed in a chart when a chart has been updated. Or you can look in the individual updates and see what's changed. Okay, thank you.